Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Rymaszewski, and today I will be presenting on the food impact on UNH's footprint. So first I will begin with discussing what a footprint is. I will later get into how food affects UNH's carbon and nitrogen footprint specifically, and conclude with food footprint reduction scenarios. So what is a footprint? Well, a footprint is the pressure on the environment from resource consumption. UNH assesses food sustainability in two ways. First, through the carbon footprint, which is all greenhouse gas emissions during food production, and the second through the nitrogen footprint, which is nitrogen pollution losses during food production. So why calculate a food footprint? Well, sustainability is very important to UNH. We were one of the first charter signatories to the climate commitment, and we recognize that food production can have a lot of sustainability implications to the environment. Some examples of that include eutrophication, land degradation, soil degradation, as well as many others. If you're interested in learning more about the impacts of food production to the environment, please refer to the SciMap food webinar, also posted to the SciMap website. So a food footprint is actually part of a campus carbon and nitrogen footprint. It is not a footprint in of itself. However, it allows UNH the opportunity to assess food sustainability throughout campus. So UNH is actually one of the first universities to assess our food footprint. We have been calculating and recording our data since 2014. All food data is calculated and analyzed through SciMap, the Sustainability Indicator Management and Analysis platform. And with SciMap, we are able to identify feasible scenarios to further propose a food footprint reduction goal. So on the left here, excuse me, this is UNH's nitrogen and carbon footprint from a 2014 baseline. And as you can see, food production occupies a very significant amount of the nitrogen footprint, about 80%, compared to the carbon footprint. To further break this down, on the left here is the food weight of each food category purchased in 2014 in terms of kilograms. And on the right here is the nitrogen footprint from the 2014 baseline. Now, what I'm trying to get across here is that if you look on the left, the amount of meat purchased, so the amount of weight, is not as significant as some of the other food categories. However, it does have a very significant impact to the nitrogen footprint, as it encompasses, again, about 80%. Here are some scenarios that have been analyzed, either identified in collaboration with dining services, as well as some others. So the first one on the left here is 40% ground beef replacement with mushrooms. This is something that UNH has been doing for quite some time now and has been fairly successful with, and has resulted in a 3% decrease of the overall nitrogen footprint. The second one here is replacing 10% of meat with vegetarian options. This is not something that UNH is currently doing. However, it would result in a 4% decrease. And the third one here is replacing 25% of beef with chicken. Again, not something that UNH is currently doing. However, would result in a 5% decrease of the overall nitrogen footprint. Now, the last one here is a vegetarian campus scenario. This is not something that UNH is recommending, is not something that we are considering. However, it is important to see the magnitude of impact that meat has to the overall footprint. So theoretically, if we were to no longer provide meat through UNH, we would see a 47% decrease in our overall nitrogen footprint, which is nearly half. So it's very important to see, again, the magnitude that meat has to your nitrogen footprint specifically. To conclude, food production is a very critical component to the campus footprint, more so the nitrogen footprint. SciMap is a really great tool for food reporting and accounting, and through SciMap, we are able to continue to track our food data over time and use these scenarios identified in collaboration with dining services, as well as others, to establish a food footprint reduction goal. Thank you.